just fucking hate going to evening showings because people just can't seem to shut the fuck up in theaters. The guy sitting next to me just couldn't stop fidgeting. I mean, holy shit, dude, stop. Why do you feel the need to constantly move your legs up and down, turning left and right, trying to talk to whoever's next to you? And to add on top all of that, he just kept whipping out his phone that was on like full brightness every single time, and the people to the left of me also couldn't just stop talking.
Chris! Diver! Where are you?
Alright, so we have ourselves a film based on a true story. Now, how accurate are these things told within this film versus real life? I don't know. But it is told to us at the start through some text that this is, I guess, sort of like an adaptation of a documentary called Last Breath. Either way, I'm not here to go over the logistics or whatever, what's more real, what's not. What I am gonna talk to you guys about is this movie as a movie, and does it work? We follow the true story of deep sea divers who must go down into the depths of water in order to fix some pipes or whatever. And during one of these missions, something goes terribly wrong with the ship, which forces them to leave behind one of their divers, who is then trapped in the deep, dark depths of the ocean and must wait for rescue, which will hopefully arrive before his oxygen tank runs out. It's a fairly simple premise with a lot of intensity, which I did feel throughout my experience, but unfortunately this movie felt kind of rushed, like they didn't exactly want to show all the nitty-gritty little details, all the nuance behind the scenes as to how they managed to save this diver. This movie felt like it was running out of ideas on how to keep audiences engaged with what was happening on screen, so they just kind of cut to the chase and got to the saving part really quick. Now, it could be due to the real life story, how maybe there just wasn't really all that much nuance as to how they figure it out or how they managed to get to him, but I don't know, this movie just felt like it didn't really know how to tell the story. And when the movie tries to have some levity with its emotional beats, it just didn't really hit because the character development just wasn't really all there. The production, on the other hand, is solid. It looks really good. This movie does a pretty good job at giving us an idea as to what these real life divers do. Seeing the inside of this ship, if they really did shoot in a ship and how they decompress and everything, it was really cool. I mean, the fact that we got to see the inside of all these things and how their suits and everything and how they connect and all this, it was really cool. Really great insight. It's a solid looking movie with a good production and a cast that was really strong. Even though they weren't really given much to work with, at least they're recognizable and likable. It's hard to dislike Woody Harrelson. He's fantastic in everything he's in. I mean, you see him, you love him. He's basically the leader of this little trio between Simu Liu and Finn Cole. Finn Cole being the guy who gets stranded down there. Like I said earlier, the movie does try to build an emotional core with Finn Cole's character who has a wife, but this movie felt like it needed more than 93 minutes to tell the full story, to add all the nuance and make us feel for him as a person, to make us feel worried for him because he's a living human being who may not be able to see his wife ever again. Simu Liu's character doesn't really have much to him. They don't really give us much development. I mean, they give us a little bit of something, but we don't really learn much about it until the very end, where we get actual confirmation about something about him. So Simu's character is almost kind of non-existent, and the same almost goes for Woody Harrelson, who doesn't really have much to work with, but he does have something. Again, there is just a lack of characterization that really could have helped the story and the levity, the intensity of the scenes. If I just got to learn a bit more of Simu Liu's character, I would have cared more. If I got to learn a bit more about Woody Harrelson and why he cares so much about this job, it would have made everything feel all the more impactful. I don't want my rant to seem like there wasn't any intensity or anxiety-inducing scenes. No, there was definitely a lot of great shit in this movie. There are some amazing shots of our character just going into this deep, dark black of nothing. And when the movie is switching between different cameras of a drone or to an actual cinema camera, it was just so fucking cool to see how this team is operating in order to try to save this guy. And throughout this entire mission, we're seeing how much time left that he has for his oxygen tank and time that he has without oxygen. The clock is ticking and the team needs to figure out how to get the ship maneuvered back to where they previously were so they could be on top of the mission area in order to get the dive team back down there to save the guy. There were moments that had my heart pumping, wondering if they were gonna make it in time to get to the guy who's currently trapped in total darkness. I mean, holy shit, those shots were just fucking, it is just horrifying. I mean, being left alone in the deep, dark, I can't imagine what that was like. This is such a fascinating story that deserves a bit more nuance than what we got. I wish we got to see more of how the crew managed to fix the ship in order to maneuver all the way back to the mission area. Maybe this is a minor spoiler, but a character realizes that he could potentially manually reboot a system that will help him control the ship, and what he's going to attempt doesn't seem all that simple. It could be very complicated and potentially even cripple the ship, but they decide to go ahead and take a shot, and instead of the movie showing us how he's doing, or at least what's happening, you know, really building the intensity, how important it is that they managed to fix the systems and get the ship going again, working properly, they kind of just cut to it. That's kind of what happens a lot throughout this movie. It doesn't really exactly build up the intensity, the importance, or the levity of the situation. I just want to reiterate though, you could definitely still have a good time with this movie and feel the pressure that's going on within the scenes and sequences. As I was walking out of the theater, people were saying how they felt anxiety and intense and how they weren't too sure about what was going to happen next with the divers. But on a story level, it's kind of subpar. Alright, that's enough of me. I'll catch you guys next time.